should you invest in property instead of stocks? Are you an investor with some funds set aside? In this video, I'm going to tell you why intelligent investment in the UK real estate market will do better than stocks every time. So imagine you buy a stock in the market. Let's suppose it's a really expensive stock. It costs £100,000. Now, if you're in the States or mainland Europe, you can use dollars or euros, and the analogy will work the same. Now, to buy that stock, you need to come up with all of the money yourself. It is your money. Now, if you do well with that stock and maybe get lucky, you might make a solid 5% return on investment per year. Now, if you're doing really well, you might match the rate of inflation of the economy. Perhaps you have something in shares. In the UK, that's currently somewhere around 8.7%. With your stock, you might also benefit from some appreciation in the value of your capital. And by capital, I'm referring to the money that you invested in order to buy that stock, as the value of your stock increases with the economy of that country. Now, unless you have... Do excuse us while we experience some technical difficulties. Now, unless you have some executive power in the company that you bought that stock from, you have no control over the value of that stock. If you want to have complete control over the value of your stock, you need to have control either over every single investor and consumer in the market, that's an option, and an obviously extremely realistic one. Or you need to be running the business from which you bought stock. Now, that former is unrealistic, and the latter, if you open your own business, opens you up to a whole host of new risks. Now, suppose you hold that stock for 20 years. Now, the company, to show their appreciation for you continuing to invest in their company, may start sending you a small payment per month. A dividend. It probably won't be very high. And that depends on the company actually doing well, growing, and not going bust. So, you need your own money to buy the stock. You'll be doing well if your stock appreciates in value at a rate that matches inflation. And dividends only come after decades of loyalty, and even then, they're small. Now, let's have a look at a similar situation in the property market. So again, imagine that you're buying a stock, but this time it's like a property stock, okay? You buy a house. Now, your house, this property stock, costs £100,000. Now, to buy this kind of stock, you don't need to come up with all of the money yourself. Typically in the UK, banks will provide you with 75% of the cash that you need to buy this stock, i.e. the house. So now you can get an £100,000 stock for only £25,000 of your own money. In the UK real estate market, house prices double roughly every 8 years, and this has been consistent for decades and decades, including during the credit crunch at the beginning of the 21st century and in the 1980s crash. This means that if you do averagely, just averagely, in the UK real estate market, you will be getting a return on your investment of about 9.1% every year. But there is a difference between the return on the investment that you get, your ROI, and the return you get on the capital that you employed, your ROCE, the actual cash that you put in from your own bank account to start with. Because remember, you didn't invest £100,000, you invested £25,000 of your own capital. So that is a 29.7% return on the capital you employed to start with. That is enough to make most of the stock market weep. But the plot thickens. This is what happens if you just do nothing and sit back. This is what happens if you know nothing, you just sit back, you buy a house in good condition, and do absolutely nothing with it for a decade. You just sit very, very patiently, waiting for the market to do its thing. But of course, that's not what we do. First, we rent it out. Rental income is like dividends. The only difference is that you don't have to wait decades until the company that you're investing with thanks you for investing. You get your dividends very soon after investing. And these monthly property dividends you get are much, much higher compared to the size of your investment. Do you already see why the UK property market is so much more lucrative and safe than stocks? I'm not finished. And also, now you own a house, right? That's quite a lot of responsibility. You want a slice of the pie without the hassle of owning, refurbishing, and maintaining properties yourself. Do you want a clean, hands-free investment that can get you a higher return than you're getting elsewhere? With my model, I can fix that for you. Check out my website and book in for a free call with me, and let's talk about the percentage return I can get for you in your case if we work together and put your hard-earned savings to work in this market, which can be astoundingly lucrative for you and wildly safe with my training, efforts, and expertise. If you like this video, check out my latest one here, and you can subscribe here, and see you in the next one.